All right, so you're interested in Brighton, Colorado, right? Well, we're sitting right next to the Brighton Rec Center right now to dig in a little bit deeper.
Yeah, we're going to give you the full tour of Brighton and kind of show you the different areas of where you might want to live here in Brighton, Colorado.
All right, let's go. All right, welcome back to the channel, you guys. You're watching Living in Denver Metro North with your Colorado real estate family, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here. And if you're looking to move into the Denver metro area, just do it.
Reference.
Okay. Do it. Do it.
Okay guys, give us a thumbs up on this video, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We are making new videos every single week, and we want you to be notified when a new video.
Twice a week now.
Oh, I was like, what'd I do? I thought it was gonna be a blooper.
Nope.
Yes, twice a week now.
Twice a week now.
We have upped our videos.
Every Wednesday and Saturday we are releasing, so yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to reach out to us, I'm gonna put the phone number down here below. Go ahead and call, text us, whatever you need. We are here.
Yeah, guys, it's so important. Like I said, when you subscribe and when you get this video known to other people, think about it. You're looking at moving into the Colorado area. It's great being exposed to all those different areas. And we approach our videos as natives, as a family, and as your Colorado real estate professionals licensed in the state of Colorado. So here we go. All right, first things first. So before we really dive in, we need to know where is Brighton at. And I'm sure, like I said, you've kind of Googled a little bit, maybe researched where Brighton is at, but it's essentially northeast of Denver. I mean, you're looking at like 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. And when we were kids, honestly, it was like farmland, right? It was agriculture. It was where you go and all the houses had flies inside of it because of all the cows and stuff. So that's kind of what it was when we were growing up in Brighton, and it's just changed completely compared to when we were kids. We actually, fun fact, my family had a Sweeney farm out there, and it was like, I remember every time that we drove out there, it felt like we were going to the boonies. We're like, oh my gosh, Brighton is so far away. And now the location is like, this doesn't look anything like what it used to be, and the family farm is still there, but now you got like this brand new highway right next to it and stuff, and all these brand new houses. It's just crazy how much has changed since we were kids, and the different perception that Brighton is now.
Yeah, and Brighton really does have kind of two parts of it. So break into a little bit about like why there's two parts of Brighton.
So the biggest reason that you have two parts of Brighton is you have two different highways, right? The older part, which Chelsea will kind of dig in a little bit more on, is right next to Highway 85. And so you have that access to Old Town Brighton. But then here's the thing, you got Highway 76 that goes on the eastern side of Brighton, and all these developers came in like, we really need to take advantage of the fact that you have this transportation go into this area, take up the farmland, build some houses. So that you really have like seriously the brand new area, which is like within the last 10 years they've been building there, and then you got the Old Town portion, which is one of the oldest parts of Colorado.
So to talk about the highways, so going to Denver, if you were to take each highway, what's the difference?
So the biggest difference is 76 is pretty much your supreme highway where you have no stoplights. You got 65 when you get closer into Denver, more 55 into the city. 85, it does have some stoplights. It has 65, but then those serious intersections like Bromley Lane, Bridge, you have some stoplights there. So it's kind of like a pseudo highway, right? Where it's just a high speed inner city road and then eventually 85 actually intersects
Goes
into
into
76.
76,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like eventually it meets with that, but where they split, that's kind of where it's split in Brighton in half, right? Where the eastern part is 76 and the western part is 85.
Yeah, and then from 76, you're going to take highway or I-25, Interstate I-25, down to Denver. So 76 doesn't actually go all the way to Denver, right?
It goes all the way to 25.
To 25
Yep.
and then down. So
Yeah.
that's how you get to Denver. But I mean, they literally go like this, which leads you into the 2 spots. So what does that mean, right? We're doing a video on where you should live in Brighton. So the 85 takes you to kind of older, or I guess we could call it older, right? Older,
Yeah, it's more your
Old Town.
rural part of Brighton.
Yeah, because it's
farmland,
where the
yeah.
old town is.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, like, it used to just be farmland and that downtown, but now it's not. So we're going to show you some video to kind of give you a little bit of difference between the homes, because they're all very different, and we have kind of 3 different tiers of what the homes look like. So if you're in Old Town and you go a few blocks, north of Old Town, you're gonna have some pretty old houses right there.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them have been, obviously redone. We did actually see a house that looks like it's probably gonna be a flip.
Yeah.
I mean, downtown or Old Town Brighton has all that it needs to be big if someone were to come in and develop it. Like,
of course.
It has it all. If it could just, we're like, it's gonna come, hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
But we think it's changed a lot, but it hasn't gone to its full potential.
Well, I think the epitome of Brighton growing to be what it wants to be is when those 2 sections really merge.
Yeah.
I mean, they do kind of connect a little bit, but when they really kind of mesh together, that's going to be the epitome of Brighton become this huge thing, right? Because we keep on watching Brighton. It's been so slow being like up and coming, and now we're like, all right, when are we going to get to that point where Brighton's like this hot spot now? So
Yeah. So then a couple blocks south of Old Town, you're gonna that kind of second tier of, like, they're newer than the ones that are north, but they're definitely not the new builds that we're gonna show you here in a little while. But they're a little bit nicer, a little cleaner of areas. You could tell it's a little newer. So definitely, like, it started north of Old Town being the older houses, a little south of Old Town being kind of the newer houses, and then now this whole extra, like, new Brighton. So let's talk a little bit about Brighton as a whole if you're in that older space. Obviously, parks.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they have a lot of great like city parks. You look all around, they have like, is this the park of Brighton, or was the one that we're just
this
at?
is Brighton.
Yeah, this is Brighton Park, and so you got the Brighton Rec Center. You can't see it, but it's right over there. We'll get some footage and stuff for you guys to see. But Brighton has all these kind of like city parks outside of it, where you look at the newer part, and you have more of the community parks, right?
Yes.
So like Brighton Crossing is one of the huge developments that's over on the eastern side of Brighton. They have their huge community park with the pools and all that stuff. So 2 seriously completely different eras of Brighton, where this one was established, in the late 1800s. That one was established 2000s on. So you have seriously generational differences where here in the older part of Brighton, you've got people who've been here for a while, right? You might have some families who pass their houses along, where over there it's more families looking to start. That suburbia status more so than the Old Town version. So
yeah. So why would people buy an Old Town, right? So why would you choose to live over in the Old Brighton? Yeah. Obviously, you're going to get less of a house, but I looked at the website because I was like, what is new in Brighton? What is going? So we come up here for movies. There's a really cute little movie theater. Old Town Brighton is really good about entrepreneurs. And so they have, we did our small business class. Remember when we were doing that class here over at City Hall? Yeah. So there's a lot of things to do in Old Town, but you still have all that Old Town feel. So why would people live closer to Old Town in the older? Is because you're right next to Old Town. It is coming. We don't know when. But honestly, it has everything that it needs to be big if someone were to come over and just blow it up. And even more than our bigger. So talk really quick about the surrounding houses in Old Town. This Old Town in comparison to other Old Towns. So we talked about it not being
Lafayette. Yeah. Lafayette is freaking amazing as far as an Old Town goes. Old Town Arvada, those ones are just so much larger, and I think it's because the distance of them to Denver area is so much closer. So that's probably has a big actually. And I think about it, Lafayette's not any closer than this probably is. Lafayette's on the other side of I-25. But those old towns are so much bigger, and you can tell Brighton is it's itching for that growth. They're just waiting for that little thing to come in. Yep. You got a few little hot spots popping up, cool little breweries and stuff, but they want that to be here. And there's come on now, we just wanted to hurry and launch, So yeah.
So you still have the walkability. If you're choosing a house in the Old Brighton, you have the walkability. Yes, there was a ton of little restaurants and bars. Some karaoke bars, so definitely a couple dive bars right now. But again, they have the buildings, they have the setup to be something big. And so as we start to see, all these areas close in and these start building and Brighton feeling closer to Denver than it really is by closing it in by housing and all kinds of stuff, I think we're going to see it blow up. And so I definitely think it's going to be a place that people are going to start picking up. I just don't think it's there quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people don't really know about it because they want to stay closer to I-25, right? So they think I-25 and hey, if I'm going to go further north, I'm going to go more Frederick, Firestone, and all that stuff. Right. When really Brighton is just as close, if not closer. But they're 76, that's not my main highway. I-25 is the main highway. I-25 and I-70, those are two main highways going through Colorado, going through the Denver area. They really don't really think about it, and especially if you weren't raised here. You're Brighton, I don't even know what the hell that is, unless you're really researching, maybe you have a job that's moving in here or whatever. It's just really an unknown spot. And I think that, like I said, with those houses being built right off 76, it's starting to get known a little bit more. And it's hey, why not be out here? Why not pay less for a house and not have to, be in the Denver metro area? So that's something a lot of people are really thinking about.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of go into a little bit of the newer area real quick. But just before you guys sign off, don't leave us yet, because we're going to be talking at the end of the video what kind of the median price point is of houses here in Brighton. And that's what you're going to want to learn. So let's real quick talk about kind of the second, part of Brighton, which is that newer part. Which we have a lot of clients that have been there. We have actually had a couple clients here recently because they see.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing is this Old Town area sucks for cell service. Not gonna lie, my personal experience, but I was here and I was showing a house and I was trying to get the showing code, so I'm trying to get my phone to pull it up and stuff, and no internet whatsoever. I tried calling the showing service and they could barely freaking hear me. I'm what the heck? I don't know if they need to put cell towers in here. I don't know if it's my cell service or what, but the cell service isn't the greatest in the Old Town area of Brighton. All right, so digging in the newer portion of Brighton. It's honestly, so back in the day when they first started, you could buy a house for super cheap. We're talking $400,000, maybe even a little bit less than that. Where now they're closer up to, $600,000, $700,000. You could probably get into the $800,000, depending on the build out and the builder and all those good things. If you're going to be nearer to more of the Old Town area, you're looking probably right around 400. You can probably find something a little bit less than 400, and you can probably find something a little bit over. Not too much more though, but you do see a few flips, a few renovations that are happening in the Old Town area, and like I said, that's where we really have those indications where it is going to grow. It's trying to get that new portion of or the new hot city, right? Because we have these cities outside the Denver metro because it's getting so congested in the Denver area who really want to pop. They really want to be the next new hip spot. And Brighton, I think it's just man, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's just right there, and it's just about to tip over. So
and here's the thing, you know, we're talking about when it's gonna tip over, right? Because we're investors too. So one of the things we always look at is like picking up houses in areas that we know are gonna grow and they're gonna thrive and they're just gonna, you know, it's gonna be worth it to invest in that area and kind of be part of that community. But let's just talk about like really quick Brighton as a whole. Brighton has that small feel, all the fun little things that you could do with a small town, you know, and still has pretty much any kind of house you want.
Oh, yeah.
Older, a little bit newer, and then brand new, you know, up 76. So if you're looking for that kind of small community-like
it's just
thing,
community, yeah.
they
huge in
have it
community.
here. They have it here. I mean, okay, yes, we are still in the boonies enough. And we talk about this in our other videos. So if you haven't checked out our Brighton video of what you can get for, is it 400?
Yeah, 400,000.
Yeah, go check that out. But we talk about some of these things a little bit more in depth. But you know, they have tornado warnings out here, and they have to like put it on the like community calendar. Hey guys, just so you know, we're doing
No
our
tornadoes.
we're doing our siren like testing.
Yeah.
Don't freak out.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
So like obviously enough that they have to like tell the community, hey, we're testing for our tornado siren here back in June. So like, you know, you still have all this cute community, small town feel.
Oh, of course.
Small town feel.
Oh, yeah.
With pretty much whatever house you want to get, depending on which area you go in. So
That's a fact for sure. Yeah, I mean, Brighton, the best way to put it, it's where all the cowboys are at, right? And so they're getting pushed out a little bit, but it was the gateway to your rural Colorado, where, you know, all the farm and agricultural, and like I said, had a little bit, but it's where we knew all the cowboys always lived. Like my cousins on the Sweeney farm, you know, they were cowgirls, and you know, they did the whole rodeo thing and stuff.
Yes.
And I was a city boy all rolling in, and I'm like, dude, you're getting some dirt on my sneakers. What the heck? So,
it's just so funny when we first started dating. He's like, "Are you like part of the 4-H club?" I'm like, what? I've never been on a horse in my life. Like I'm from Colorado, but I'm like in like the suburbs of Colorado.
all right, cool guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hop in the car and maybe check a little bit about the newer side of Brighton, so you could catch some eyes on that. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're on our way over to the newer portion of Brighton, Colorado right now. Big thing I really want to hit on that I completely forgot about is they have the large Santiagos here. And if you watch our Lafayette video, we talked about Santiagos and how amazing their breakfast burritos are. They're like $2. Actually, I think they're like $2.25 now or whatever.
Increased.
Yeah, huge thing though. Like I said, I mean, Santiagos is almost like, it's almost a sacred thing in Colorado. I had this one guy back when we were in North Carolina, he's from Chicago. Said he came here one time, he's like, what's that burrito place that you guys have the $2 breakfast burritos? I'm like, oh, you're talking about Santiago's? He's like, bro, if you could teach me how to do that and bring it to Mexico, that thing will be $1 million idea. So that's how good Santiago's is. So really wanted to hit on that real quick. We're on our way to the newer portion of Brighton, so we'll come right back.
All right, we are pulling into Brighton Crossing, which is one of the neighborhoods over here in kind of the newer part of Brighton, and it is so nice. Okay, as you can tell, very different over here. You know, definitely the kind of single family home style. Right in the middle, straight ahead, is going to be kind of their community park, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, very, very different than what we were just looking.
Where the pool's at. This is just like a little gathering area for this portion. But Brighton Crossing is so huge, and it's similar to like in Reunion. Go check out Reunion video if you haven't checked that one out yet. Where they have this like central hub of an area where you got your pool, and it's a large pool, a large center and all that stuff. I'm trying to find it right now.
Yeah, this looks kind of just like a center grass area.
Yeah.
They might do entertainment because they had some kind of like sitting spaces there.
Oh, so
or
actually,
tiered
you guys showing this.
grass.
So like how it just ends.
Okay, let me turn this around. That's gonna go through, I'm sure, at some point, huh?
Yeah, seriously, it's like that just shows how we are in the boonies for the most part. It's like Brighton. Oh nope, there you go. There's your farmland again.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right, let's go check out some more of these new houses. Okay, we are driving up towards the school here, located kind of right in the middle of this community, which is really nice for all these surrounding houses and the kids. So, let's see.
Is that elementary school?
And as you can see, these are some Lennar homes.
These are brand new. So these ones are like seriously being built right now.
They still have
You
the
see
model and
the
everything up.
Lennar. Oh yeah, they still got the model house over here that they're showing them. Oh, pan to the right so you can see how it's all been farmed.
Here we go.
Look
So
like
this
legit.
is outside of this community. So as you can tell, look, there's beautiful sunflowers. But as you can tell, like this community is right in the middle. I mean, this was not here and it all looked like that. So, but they're all building in here. Obviously, as
Yeah,
you
these
can tell.
are all your brand new houses here in Brighton. And I mean, as you can tell, completely different from Old Town Brighton.
Yeah, the fact that this is Brighton and what we just showed you before is Brighton, as you can see, old Brighton versus new Brighton, very, very different. But we're still in Brighton here. Okay guys, we have shown you, all the way through Old Town Brighton. We took you through some of the older homes and then, showed you a little bit about the surrounding parks. And then now we just showed you the newest part of Brighton. Can't even believe it's the same space, but it is. And we're about to wrap it up. So this is a full tour. If you have questions, feel free to leave us some comments below.
All right, guys, we love you. And until next time, see ya.
Bye.
You might be a little curious on Brighton, Colorado, and maybe you're possibly looking at living here. We're sitting in the... All right, so it looks like you might be interested in Brighton, Colorado, and possibly you're looking at All right, so it looks like you're interested in Brighton, Colorado, and more so maybe where to live. I don't want the channel. You're watching Living in Denver Metro North with your Colorado real estate family, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here, and with I forgot the